Today, Wednesday, the 4th of December, 2024, we have some hand-picked match prediction events to share with you, which will be backed up by some stats and analytics to help you make your picks in this list to boost your winning by a greater percent. And to those of you who want to be having access to our hand-picked match prediction events based on big league events like Champions League, Premier League, Bundesliga, Europa League, Conference League, and other big league events, as well as our top list of game prediction based on our top 10 or top 15 corner kick match prediction events and goals match pick with which ought to take your winning to the next level, then you want to make sure to join the Level 2 Pro plan. The link is below this video description. You can go directly on it, click and navigate to join to become a member to have access to all of these features. So without wasting time, I'm going to begin with the first match pick of our today's list. Looking at the first match prediction pick, we are looking at Asia in the AFC Champions League, a match between Kawasaki Frontale against Shandong Taishan. Looking at this, the recent performance of the home team have proved to be very offensive based on recent gameplay. You can see scoring 3 to 5 goals per each event. The opponent, on the other hand, the performance is not that as good as compared to that of the home. Looking at the stand comparison of these two in terms of form, recent game they have had, we are going to see that the standing table here shows that Kawasaki Frontale is the favorite. Of course, they have had 5 game play, 3 wins, scoring 7 and conceding 4. But Shandong, on the other hand, have a defense which is very open, even though the offense is also good as compared to Kawasaki Frontale. And looking at everything in place here, we want to look at 2 major picks in full time. For this particular event, of course, both of the two sides have good offense, but the defense of the away team is more weaker, and of course, as a result, both of the two sides will try to impress, resulting to goals since one side have a weak defense. And since the home team also, the defense is not that very much tight, of course, there is the possibility of both sides to score against each other. So we want to look at least 1.5 goal to occur in this match in full time as one of the major pick, as well as 2 goals over. Looking at the next, we'll look at Greece Cup, a match between PAOK against PAE Ega Leo. In this event, the home PAOK have proved to be very offensive, and they are mostly from the Super League of Greece. They have had gameplay, especially also in the Europa League against Rigas, where they had a lead, to tell us that they are good. But comparing to that of the opponent, on the other hand, they are from the Super League 2, a lesser league. And comparing the stance of these in terms of recent gameplay they just had, Pastly, PAOK played away and Pay Egalo at home, but PAOK lead by 3 goals to 0. This time, PAOK is coming home and still having a better form. We are still expecting PAOK to lead. You can see the performance of PAOK as compared to its opponent at the way, which prove they are not good in defense. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks in full time. For this particular gameplay, the first leg resulted as 3-0 when PAOK play at away. This time, PAOK is coming home and the form is still better as compared to the away team, which is from a lesser league. We therefore still want to look at PAOK to lead in full time as one of the major picks, as well as looking at the possibility of at least 1.5 goal to occur in this match in full time. Looking at the next year, we still look at Greece Cup, but this time Olympiacos against Athens. For this particular event, we are going to see that Olympiacos have a good strike rate power, scoring 4 to 2 goals per each event. They are from the Super League, and the opponent is also from the Super League. Looking at the last head-to-head which they met, as you can see in the Greece Cup, you can see Olympiacos play at the way a lead by 1-0. This time it is coming home, and comparing the stance of these two in terms of gameplay for the home and away, the home team is good, very good at home. But the away team, based on the way, they do concede much based on the way. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at 2 major picks in full time. For this particular event, of course, both of the two sides are from the Super League itself. And since the first leg resulted to 1-0 by Olympiacos taking the lead, of course, the away team will not want to see how the home take the lead this time. Of course, both of the two sides want to fight each other to see how they can secure points. So we don't want to give any favor right here, but just looking at least 1.5 goal in full time is our major pick. Looking here at the next, we'll look at Serbia in the Super League, a match between Partizan against Red Ninis. In this event, Partizan have proved that they are good based on recent event they have had, scoring 2 to 3 goals per each event. The opponent, on the other hand, proved to be conceding, and the conceding power is really good. Looking at the stand comparison of these two in terms of form based on recent event they have had, The home team, Partizan, based on home gameplay, proved that they are good, and you can see that they have had 12 goals scored and 4 conceded for 5 events played, 3 wins. But the opponent, on the other hand, based on the defensive power, you're going to see that the defense is not that very strong. But even though the offensive power is good, and looking at everything in place, we want to look at two major picks here in full time. For this particular event, of course, both of the two sides have good offense. The defense of the away is not that very tough, and also the defense of the home is not very tight. Therefore, goals probability is the best option since both of the sides are good at offense. They will more shoot on and off target, resulting to goals probability. So 1.5 goal is what we want to look at here in full time as the major pick. Looking at the next, we'll look at Asia in the AFC Champions League 2, Al Kuwait against Al Hussein. The home team is good at scoring 2 to 3 goals per each event. The away also is good in terms of scoring, even though they do concede as well. Comparing these two in terms of stand based on recent events they have had for the tournament, and you're going to see that these two teams sit on the second and third position. While Al Hussein have played 5, they had 3 wins, scoring 9 and conceding 9. Good offense, poor defense. Al Kuwait, on the other hand, as well, good offense, poor defense. And these two are coming to meet and want to look at two major picks here in full time. For this particular event, both of the two sides are good at offense, and the defense of both sides is poor. As a result, both of the two sides will score each other, resulting to goals probability, and will therefore want to look at 1.5 goals or 2.5 goals to occur in this match in full time as our major pick. Looking at the next year, we'll look at Germany Cup, a match between Köln against Hertha Berlin. For this event, of course, Köln, the home team, proved to be good in terms of recent event they have had. Hertha Berlin also, on the other hand, is a good scoring team as well. Comparing the stance of these two in terms of Köln at home, they are a good team at home. Hertha Berlin, on the other hand, also score at the away based on the away game. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at two major picks in full time. For this event, of course, it is a cup. Both of the two sides want to impress. And since both sides are good in terms of scoring, at least we want to look at the possibility of 1.5 goal to occur in this match in full time. Looking at the next year, we'll look at Slovakia, a match between Slovan Bratislava against Komano. In this event, we are looking at Slovakia, that is the home team, Slovan Bratislava, having a good offensive power, scoring 2 to 3 goals per each event. Its opponent, on the other hand, is average in terms of goal scoring. The recent head-to-head they had this same year, Slovan Bratislava played at the way a lead by 4-1. This time it is coming home and having a better form. Comparing the stand of these two in terms of form, we are going to compare this Slovan Bratislava based on the home gameplay. You're going to see that based on home, Slovan is good. They are here on the fourth position, 5 games played, 9 goals scored, 9 conceded. The offense is good, but the defense is not very tight. But that of the away proved that they are more slack in defense, as you can see, 11 goals conceded, and recently they have scored 9. Looking also at the fact that they are good based on away offense as well, but the defense not that very tight. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at two major picks in full time. For this particular event, both of the two sides are good at offense in terms of home and away gameplay. And since the defense of both sides is not tight, of course, goal probability is what we want to look at in full time. 1.5 goal in full time or 2.5 goals in full time. Looking at the next, we'll still look at Serbia Super League. This time, Krevna Zvezda against the TSC, that is Topa, that is TSC. Looking here, of course, the home team is good in terms of goal scoring, 2 to 5 goals per each event. Baka Topola, on the other hand, is also good at scoring. The recent head-to-head, which they had this same year, they have met 2 times, and goals probability has always been the greatest occurrence for both sides, especially Krevna Zvezda is good at offense. Looking here at the stand position in terms of recent event they have had, the form shows that the home team, Krevna Zvezda, is a good offensive team. Scoring 16 goals for 5 games proved that the offense is good and the defense is also good. Its opponent, on the other hand, Topola, of course, is also a good offensive team. And since both sides are good at offense and the defense of the away is not that very tough, we want to look at two major picks here in full time. For this particular event, of course, the home have more offense as compared to that of the away. And since the defense of the away is not very tight, we want to look at the home to take advantage of the weak defense of the away to lead in full time. And also, since both sides are good at offense, goal probability is also the next option. So I want to look at least 1.5 goal in full time or 2 goals over. Looking here at the next, we'll look at Coupe de Rey, Spain, a match between San Andre against Betis. The performance of the home based recent game played is not that very good. But that of Betis, on the other hand, is also not very good. But they are from the higher league, that is La Liga. And comparing to that of the home, they are from a very lesser league, Seconde. You can see here, Group 3. That's a very lesser league. And looking at Betis' performance recently, they are not that very good. And since they are coming for this particular Cup de Rey, of course, we want to look at two major picks here. For these particular events, of course, Betis is from a better league, and the home team is from a very low table, that is low league. We want to look at Betis to take this advantage to try to lead in full time as one of the major pick, or at least 1.5 goal to occur in full time. Looking at the next year, we'll look at Wales Premier League, Bala against the New Saint. Performance of Bala recently have proved that they do score at least 2 goals, 3 goals per each event. TNS, on the other hand, is offensive based on recent event they have had. And comparing the stance of these two in terms of recent event based on games they have had recently, based on form comparison, TNS, on the other hand, based on the way game played, proved that they are very offensive. They've had 5 events recently, scoring that is 4 lead, scoring up to 17 goals and conceding 8. But the home team, on the other hand, based on home game played, proved that the offense is not very tough and the defense is also not very tough. And looking at everything in place, we want to look at two major picks in full time. For these particular events, of course, the performance of the New Saints based on the way is very offensive, and of course the defense of the home is that average, not very tough. We therefore want to look at the New Saints to take advantage of the average defense of the home to lead in full time as one of the major picks, and we also want to look at least 1.5 goal to occur in this match in full time. Looking at the next year, we'll look at Scotland in the Premiership, a match between Aberdeen against Celtic. In this event, the performance of Aberdeen based on recent event proved that they are very conceding. The opponent Celtic, on the other hand, is a very offensive team, scoring 5 to 4 goals per each event. Comparing the last head-to-head, which they meet this same year, they have met many times, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And all the 4 times they meet, there is always the probability of at least 1.5 and 2.5 goals. But most recently, they just met where Celtic played at away in lead by 6-0. This time, Celtic is going away, and comparing the stance of these two in terms of recent game played, we are still going to see that based on form, Celtic still proved to be a very offensive team, and sitting here on the first position based on the way, they have scored 17 goals, as you can see, for 5 games played, all the 5 lead, and the defense, they have conceded only 2. Comparing that of the home based on recent game played, you're going to see that based on the home, Aberdeen is also a good offensive team, and the defense is not very tight. And looking here at everything in place, we want to look at two major picks in full time. Looking at this, of course, the away team, the New Saint, is very offensive, and saying the defense of the home is not that very tight, and also the home also have good offense based on recent event they have had. At least 1.5 goal is one of the major pick, and since the last head-to-head resulted to 6-0, the home also want to impress this time, and therefore we still want to look at 1.5 or 2.5 goal in this event in full time. And to those of you who want to have access to our hand-pick event based on big league like Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, Bundesliga, Premier League, and other big league match prediction events, as well as our top list of 1.5 and 2.5 goal match pick and corner kick events, which we share to members only, then you want to make sure to become a member of the Level 2 Pro plan to have access to all of these to take your winning to the next level. To those of you who want to join, the link is below this video description. You want to click, navigate, and join as a member to benefit from all of these features. Good luck and see you again in the next upload, and bye-bye for now.